Now, let me tell you something. I have seen 1,000 sunsets and sunrises on land where it floods forests and mountains with honey colored light, at sea where it rises and sets like a blood orange in a multicolored nest of cloud, slipping in and out of the vast ocean. I've seen 1,000 moons, harvest moons like gold coins, winter moons white as ice chips, new moons like baby swans' feathers. I've seen seas as smooth as if painted, colored like short silk, or blue as a kingfisher, or transparent as glass, or black and crumpled with foam, moving ponderously and murderously. I've felt winds straight from the South Pole, bleak and wailing like a lost child. Winds as tender and warm as a lover's breath. Winds that carried the astringent smell of salt and the death of seaweeds. Winds that carried the moist, rich smell of a forest floor, the smell of a million flowers. Fierce winds that churned and moved the sea like yeast, or winds that made the waters lap at the shore like a kitten. I've known silence, the cold, earthy silence at the bottom of a newly dug well, the implacable, stony silence of a deep cave, the hot, drugged midday silence when everything is hypnotized and stilled into silence by the eye of the sun, the silence when great music ends. I've heard summer cicadas cry so that the sound seems stitched into your bones. I've heard tree frogs in an orchestration as complicated as Bach, singing in a forest lit by a million emerald fireflies. I've heard the keels calling over grey glaciers that groan to themselves like old people as they inched their way to the sea. I've heard the hoarse street vendor cries of the mating fur seals as they sang to their sleek golden wives, the crisp staccato admonishment of the rattlesnake, the cobweb squeak of the bat, and the belling roar of the red deer, knee deep in purple heather. I've heard wolves baying at a winter's moon, red howlers making the forest vibrate with their roaring cries. I've heard the squeak, purr, and grunt of 100 multicolored reef fishes. I've seen hummingbirds flashing like opals round a tree of scarlet blooms, humming like a top. I've seen flying fish skittering like quicksilver across the blue waves, drawing silver lines on the surface with their tails. I've seen spoonbills flying home to roost like a scarlet banner across the sky. I've seen whales, black as tar, cushioned on a cornflower blue sea, creating a Versailles or fountain with their breath. I've watched butterflies emerge and sit, trembling while the sun irons their wings smooth. I've watched tigers like flames mating in the long grass. I've been dive bombed by an angry raven, black and glossy as the devil's hoof. I've lain in water warm as milk, soft as silk, while around me played a host of dolphins. I have met 1,000 animals and seen 1,000 wonderful things. All this I did without you. This was my loss. All this I want to do with you. This will be my gain. All this I would gladly have foregone for the sake of 1 minute of your company, for your laugh, your voice, your eyes, hair, lips, body, and above all, for your sweet, ever surprising mind, which is an enchanting quarry in which it is my privilege to delve.